In the scorching heat of July 1187, the fate of the Holy Land hung in the balance. Saladin, the formidable Sultan of Egypt and Syria, faced off against the Crusader army at Hattin. The Crusaders, thirsty and weary, were no match for Saladin's forces. The ensuing defeat sent shockwaves through Christendom. Jerusalem, the sacred city, fell to Saladin's triumphant army. News of this catastrophe reached Europe, carried on the lips of exhausted messengers. Pope Gregory VIII, grief-stricken, issued a call to arms. A new Crusade III was needed to reclaim the Holy City. Across Europe, kings and knights answered the call, driven by religious zeal and a thirst for glory. Among them were three of the most powerful monarchs of the age: Richard I of England, Philip II of France, and Frederick I, the Holy Roman Emperor. The stage was set for a clash of civilizations, a battle for Jerusalem that would determine the fate of the Holy Land for a generation. The Third Crusade, a saga of ambition, bravery, and tragedy, was about to begin. The journey ahead would test the limits of endurance, faith, and military strategy. Three kings, each with their own motivations and ambitions, embarked on separate journeys to the Holy Land. Frederick Barbarossa, the aging but formidable Holy Roman Emperor, was the first to set out. Leading a vast army across the Byzantine Empire, Frederick aimed to recapture Jerusalem by force. His journey, however, ended in tragedy. In June 1190, the emperor drowned while crossing the Salef River in Anatolia. Philip Augustus of France, a shrewd and calculating ruler, chose a sea route. He sailed from Genoa with his forces, arriving in Acre in the spring of 1191. Richard the Lionheart, King of England known for his chivalry and military prowess, followed a similar route. Richard's fleet was caught in a storm, forcing him to seek refuge in Cyprus. There he clashed with Isaac Komnenos, the island's ruler. Richard conquered Cyprus, adding to his growing legend. The three kings were destined to converge on Acre, a strategic port city on the Levantine coast. Their arrival would mark a turning point in the Crusade as Christian forces united against a common enemy. The siege of Acre was a grueling affair. For 2 years, Christian forces had besieged the city, their ranks ravaged by disease and relentless attacks. The arrival of Richard I in June 1191, however, breathed new life into the campaign. Richard, a gifted military strategist, organized the construction of siege towers and catapults. After a relentless bombardment, the city's defenders finally capitulated on July 12, 1191. The capture of Acre was a significant victory for the Crusaders, re-establishing their presence in the Holy Land. Saladin, watching from afar, realized that he faced an adversary unlike any he had encountered before. Richard, however, was not content with merely holding Acre. He yearned to liberate Jerusalem, the ultimate prize. As Richard's army marched south, Saladin's forces shadowed their every move. On September 7, 1191, the two armies clashed at the Battle of Arsuf. Section 4, A Truce Forged, A King Departs. The Battle of Arsuf was a testament to Richard's military genius. Anticipating Saladin's tactics, Richard positioned his forces strategically, with his infantry forming a defensive line and his cavalry waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Saladin's forces, confident in their numerical superiority, launched a furious assault. The Crusader infantry, disciplined and well-equipped, held firm. Then, at Richard's command, the Crusader cavalry unleashed a devastating counterattack. Saladin's forces were routed, and the victory at Arsuf solidified Richard's reputation as a brilliant military commander. Despite this victory, Richard realized that capturing Jerusalem would be a daunting task. His army, depleted by months of campaigning, was not strong enough to lay siege to the heavily fortified city. Furthermore, the Crusader ranks were plagued by internal divisions. Pragmatism dictated a different course of action. Richard and Saladin entered into negotiations, culminating in the Treaty of Jaffa in September 1192. The treaty secured safe passage for Christian pilgrims to Jerusalem, although the city itself remained under Muslim control. Section 5, The Enduring Legacy of the Third Crusade. The Third Crusade, though ultimately failing to recapture Jerusalem, left an enduring mark on history. It showcased the military prowess of Richard the Lionheart and the strategic brilliance of Saladin. The Crusade also highlighted the religious fervor that gripped both sides, driving them to fight for their beliefs. While the treaty ensured peace for a time, it did little to resolve the underlying tensions between Christendom and the Islamic world. The struggle for control of the Holy Land was far from over. The Third Crusade would be romanticized and mythologized in literature and art for centuries to come. It served as a reminder of the power of faith, the allure of glory, and the enduring legacy of the Crusades.